Alright, so this topic's going to be looking at the characteristics of a skilled performer. So I guess what makes elite athletes so good? How do we separate them from just from us? So let's look into that with a bit more depth. What is a skilled performance? Well, the definition of a skilled performance is the learned ability to bring about predetermined results with maximum certainty, often with the minimum outlay of time or energy or both. So it's about getting good results with little effort. It can also be defined as an organised, coordinated activity in relation to an object or a situation which involves a whole chain of sensory, sensual and motor mechanisms. So let's check it out. Okay, so let's have a look at Tiger Woods and have a think about what makes him such a skilled performer when you play this video. Alright, so with that in mind, let's break down the characteristics of a skilled performer, and there's actually 6 characteristics that you need to remember. So the first one is that elite performers have all the time in the world. Well, when they're performing, they at least look like they do. That's because they've got an ability to anticipate play. They're often very fit, so they can get there quickly, be the first person to reach the ball, and therefore it looks like they've got more time to think about what to do and therefore make the right decision. So that brings us to the next one. They often make the correct decisions. So very rarely will they make the wrong decision. And in fact, their decision making is quite reliable and very consistent. And because they've had so much experience, they are better at making the right decision, choosing the right shot to play, choosing the right person to pass to, choosing the right movement to perform in that right situation. Like I mentioned before, they've got good anticipation and timing, so they can pick up the key cues around their environment from their opponents. So it might be the way their opponent's holding the racket or the body position their opponent's facing, all right? And they can pick up on those key cues and kind of anticipate, well, what shot are they going to play or where are they going to hit the ball? And that means that they are able to get there faster and play a better shot back. Their technique is smooth, effective and efficient. It's highly rehearsed. They don't need much thought about their technique, as they're more thinking about placement and strategy and tactics. But it's well rehearsed. It has minimal errors. It's very smooth and coordinated. Yeah. This one here is really important characteristic of a skilled performer. It's an ability to cope with pressure, and often skilled performers are in high pressure situations. So they need to have this characteristic. If they aren't able to cope with pressure, then they're going to fail and they're going to crumble, and therefore they're not going to be a skilled performer. So you look at your highly successful athletes, you look at them competing in grand finals, Grand Slam tournaments, Olympic events. They're the ones that can compete under high pressure, high expectations, and not crumble. And finally, they do need to have this kind of component of flexibility, sort of not doing the same routine all the time, adapting the play to suit their opponent, their opposition, the team that they're playing, the situation that they're in, how many points they're down in a gymnastics routine before they need to get a gold medal. What do they need to do different? And that ability to be flexible is really important characteristic of a skilled performer. So with Rafael Nadal, think about those characteristics and think about, well, what actually makes him so good? What makes him a skilled performer? Is it the fact that he can detect the cues in his opposition and anticipate play and move to get into the right position earlier? Is it the fact that his technique is so consistent? Can he make the right decision at the right time to play the correct shot at the right time? Think about the pressure that he's under with his big crowd watching him. So try to link those characteristics now to this skill performer. So here's another skill performer in Eddie Betts. Think about Eddie. Is he consistent? Can he do this over and over again? Can he cope under pressure? Outnumbered, 2 defenders on him, two on one. What's his technique like from the boundary line every time? It's well rehearsed, it's smooth, it's coordinated. Can he demonstrate this under pressure? Is he flexible? How does he look like he's got all the time in the world? What is he doing? Is it because he's faster to get there? Is it because he can anticipate where the ball's going to go? And so he looks like he's got more time to execute the right shot. So let's recap those characteristics of a skilled performer. And what you can do is you can use this acronym TRACTOR to help you. So first one's time. So they look like they've got all the time in the world. They've got a good use of space to create more time. Okay, so they use the space really well, and it might be to trick their opponents to give themselves more time to make the right play. They're able to read the play and anticipate what's going to happen. So it might be watching what's coming down the field, and they can start to anticipate where the ball's going to go, where their opponent's going to go. Maybe they can anticipate what shot they're going to play. Is it going to be a drop shot? Is it going to be a shot down the line? And they can get there faster. They are able to cope with pressure, so they can perform when it matters. Those big crunch, game breakers, grand finals, gold medals, grand slams. So that performance under pressure, when it matters, they don't crumble. They're consistent, coordinated, and correct. So errors are rare. Their performance is highly consistent. Their technique is performed and executed correctly with consistency and efficiency. They're very organised in their actions, and they perform them in the right order, and they react really quickly to stimuli. So TRACTOR's the one to remember. Time, all the time in the world, okay, so on. Here's a clip of the men's water polo, Australia versus Hungary. So they had to either draw or win, Australia, to be in the gold medal or in medal contention. The score was 9-all, and Hungary had it in a 20-second clock shot. So, think about the pressure that they're under. Think about how they're able to cope with that pressure. And another clip of the men's diving that you'll need to copy and paste in your browser. So think about the timing, the technique, is it executed with consistency? Are they able to cope under pressure? Think about those characteristics and try and link them to these performances.